sit back, enjoy the tour, and let's get started. Check out the deer footage from the Real Tree Hunting Show filmed on this ranch. Trees. This place has so many trees, and not just like mesquites and cedars. It's got gorgeous trees on it. The property's probably about 75% covered, but you will just go through this place when you ride through here and you're just going to see oak trees, pecan trees. I think there's almost every native tree on Texas in here. So definitely a pro on this property. This right here behind me is definitely a major financial pro. So this place has really good interior roads throughout the property, pretty solid road base, and so that right there is a huge financial economic plus as well. This right here is definitely high on my pro list. This is a huge financial plus that, you know, somebody might not really think about, but this right here is a limestone. Basically it's a gravel pit, and super good road base. In fact, the entire road throughout this property was made with this material off this property. So this right here will save you a lot of money if you wanted to put some more roads through the property or just use it for gravel. So good plus, good pro. This gated entrance with the pipe fencing, definitely a pro. So there's an old saying that I think is very, very true, and that saying is good fences make good neighbors. And this is definitely a pro on this place. This little baby right here might be the biggest pro on this place. I don't know how many times I find the perfect ranch for somebody, and my next question is, okay, tell me about the utilities. Oh, there's no electric and there's no water, or you'll have to dig a well. Very, very common in our rural areas. So this right here is huge. There's 4 RV hookups, and there's not only electric, but there's running water, and it's not well water, it's actually city water, tons of water. So this right here is probably better than gold. Each of these little RV hookups has their own water valve, and then there's a main valve for shut off over here. But this is pretty cool. They have taken this big tree here and made their own little shower. So kind of like being, you know, in the Garden of Eden or something. Okay, so this might not necessarily be like a huge pro, but it is a pretty cool feature worth mentioning. So there's a dog cage on here. So if you buy it for a family property or a hunting property, you can throw your hunting dogs in here or your pets, you know, so they don't run off and, you know, chase the wild. So, yeah, it's kind of a cool feature. So I'm now going to leave the RV camping area, and I'm going to take you to one of the features that I think is pretty terrific on this place. This right here is definitely a pro. There's several water sources on this property. This is the biggest one. This is the mini lake or big pond that is in front of the camping area. This spot where I'm standing right now is what the owners call Sunset Bluff. They tell me this is where they come and sit to watch the amazing sunsets. The elevation here is over 1,000 feet. I've come out here at sunset, and what's really incredible, I just sit up here and watch all the deer go out and feed in that wheat field. So I'm gonna definitely add this to the pro side of the list. This is a beautiful spot. I think the size of this ranch is definitely something that I would consider a pro. You know, there's not a ton of recreational ranches out on the market right now. This one's 528 acres, and it's really got a lot of features that everyone's looking for. You know, the high elevation changes, the topography, the tree cover, gorgeous oaks, really good grasses, water, electric utilities. So I would consider all those things combined in the large acreage to be a huge pro. This spot right here where I'm standing is only a plus if you're a pilot and you are looking for a recreational ranch where you can put a small runway. So this is probably the most open spot on the property, but if you pull it up on the aerial and look at it, you'll see it really would be a perfect little runway landing spot. For those of you that aren't a pilot, it's probably a perfect area section to put some oat plots for the deer. The soil up here is really pretty good. Another pro on this place is kind of unusual to come by, and for those of you that own land and have been looking for land, you know that minerals are really hard to get. Most of them have already been severed, or they don't have any to convey, or the sellers don't, you know, really know. And in this particular case, the owners believe that they own 100% of the mineral rights. I consider this to be a pretty good pro. The entrance to this property is off a paved farm to market road.